So today I planned on having a relaxing day, and then FedEx showed up and brought me this. The SNES Classic Edition, and I am super stoked. It came to the website Nintendo Enthusiast, which I'm editor-in-chief of. I filmed an unboxing and put it over on that channel, so make sure you guys go check that out. I'll have a link to it in the description. And I basically just wanted to do a preview over here, showcase some of the gameplay footage, the menu system, and whatnot. Now, this is not a review of the system. The review, once again, will be on Nintendo Enthusiast, upcoming next week, and I will let you guys know via the Facebook page and the Twitter page when that goes live. But I basically just wanted to play around with this, look at some of the games, check out Star Fox 2, of course, and see if this is worth it. If this is going to be something that is worth tracking down and worth your money. So, the SNES Classic Edition, is it worth it? Let's find out.
Alright, so when you boot up the SNES Classic Edition, you see that you select your language so that you can read things, and then you're thrust into the selection of games. Now, honestly, I like the selection of games. Some people are upset that games like, Chrono Trigger aren't on the system, but I think there's a great mix of NES or Super Nintendo classics from Nintendo themselves, and of course, third-party titles. Games like Street Fighter II Turbo, games like Super Castlevania IV, Super Mario RPG, Super Metroid. Like, there's so many good games on here. You're getting 21 games for $80. You can do different filters, the CRT filter, the standard 4x3, and pixel perfect. And this is a new addition. They have frames, so you can add a frame to the border of the game. The one I chose is actually pretty cool because it changes with the game. I thought that was pretty neat. There's some different options here, so you can see demos of games, screen reduction for burning of the screen if you leave it on too long or whatever, and of course use your damn cell phone instead of actually getting a manual. But let's check out a game real quick. We're gonna check out a couple different games and finish with some Star Fox footage. So Street Fighter II Turbo, of course, is gonna be the first game. Let's get that Capcom sound. Love the way that sounds. So you can see the border here is shifting colors and stuff due to the game. So that's pretty cool. It's not really a diversion. I think it actually adds a little something to the game. So I'm gonna go with my main here and just show you guys how it looks, how it sounds, how it plays. As you can see, the colors look very, very nice, whether you're playing on the TV or here I'm watching back the footage and just narrating over it. I think it looks really, really good. One thing I noticed that's pretty impressive is actually the audio. The audio is very, very bassy and very crisp. The Super Nintendo had really good audio, especially compared to the Sega Genesis, which sort of had a fart sound for some games. But playing this on my TV, I was like, wow, this sounds really good. And watching this footage back and listening to it through my headphones, it's like, damn, there's a lot of bass going on here. It sounds really good. So yeah, Street Fighter is Street Fighter. Looks great, runs great. Let's check out another game here. We're gonna get into some Super Mario World. This is actually a game that I didn't really play much as a kid because I had a Genesis. So I was playing Sonic 2 when this, was the big Mario game. So this is a game I actually need to explore some. I've played it, when I was a kid over at friends' houses and stuff, but just as far as myself goes, it's not a game that I'm super familiar with. You'll see I'm not very good at it. I'm kind of garbage. Especially figuring out the controls because I just never played this game much. But you can see everything looks great. Everything sounds great. At least I can do that and get my one up. Get my little jumps going on here. But yeah, once again, another great looking, great sounding game. The emulation is really on point so far with this system. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So let's check out a game that I'm a little bit more familiar with. A game that, I can actually, get a little more in depth with. And that is, of course, Super Castlevania IV. Once again, the audio it's so bassy. I want to put it on a CD or on an MP3 and put it in my car. Do you hear that? Do you hear how good that bass sounds? Oh man, that sounds so good. Anyways, you can see, the game looks great. It's running great. The colors look really nice. The controller is you know, really important in this game because it has that 8-directional whip mechanism where you can, you know, use the whip in all 8 directions, and it feels great. You know, the controllers feel just like traditional Super Nintendo controllers. Nintendo did a really good job with that. So once again, a game that I really love on the platform, and one that I'm gonna have fun playing through on this system. So here's a little Star Fox action. Now, the only reason I am playing Star Fox is because in order to unlock Star Fox 2, you have to beat the first level of Star Fox 1. Because honestly, the first Star Fox game was great at the time, but you know, looking back on it and playing it now, it's just kind of tough to play. You know, the frame rate is very, very low. Just it's not a bad game, it's just definitely a very dated game, but you can still get some enjoyment out of it. I may, you know, go back and play some more. I did make a save file after I beat this guy so that I could play some Star Fox 2. I don't think I ever beat the original Star Fox. As far as I can remember, I never have. I remember getting pretty far into the game though, back when I was like 18 or 19. But yeah, you know, Star Fox, it looks good enough, sounds good enough. Just definitely a product of the time, definitely a bit dated, especially, you know, especially when you look at Star Fox 2, because as I'm going to show you guys, Star Fox 2 actually holds up pretty well, and it kind of blows my mind that they never released it. I mean, obviously they wanted to focus on the N64, Miyamoto wanted to focus on the 64, but it's really impressive. So after you beat that first level, you get this. Yay, we can play Star Fox 2. And this is definitely a highlight of the system. Yes, you could just get, you know, a RetroPie and download a ROM of it. You could download a ROM of all of these and play a million games. I understand. I know how RetroPie works. I like official products. I like things like this. They're fun. They're fun to look at, fun to talk about. So here you can see I'm in a battle with Pigma. And you can see, like, the presentation, I feel, definitely is a big step up from the original Star Fox. You know, the color palette, the sprite work, the polygon models, the speed. I mean, look at how much faster, like, this is running than the original Star Fox. Like, it's definitely a lot more fluid. And one thing, you know, that I liked about this game that always intrigued me was the different vehicle types, because much like in Star Fox Zero, this has things like the walker in it. So, you know, that wasn't, you know, Star Fox Zero for the Wii U, that wasn't the introduction of these walkers. It was actually Star Fox 2, but this game never released. So here, I'm in the walker, I'm gonna go inside this base, and I'm actually gonna play this level all the way to completion. It's not super long. There are some things I wanted to highlight as well as we get in here. Like I said, the presentation, I feel, is a lot better. You're seeing a lot more colors going on here, and some of the polygons are much, much cleaner too. You know, it's definitely still very simplistic, but it's definitely a big step up, in my opinion, over the original game. This game controls really well too. You shift your focus with the L and R triggers, and then you just sort of blast stuff around. You got all sorts of stuff coming at you from all sorts of angles, and then you have to hit this little switch up here, and you'll be able to go into the next area. There's a total of 3 areas in here, the third one being a sort of a sub-boss level, and that actually looks very impressive, so make sure you stick around for that. You know, it doesn't take very long to get through this. So let's go to the second area here. Walking. See, you can see here there's like a little fire look on the floor here. Just very impressive stuff for the Super Nintendo. Like, if this game would have released on the Super Nintendo, people would have been blown away. Like, you know, if you're a modern gamer or, you know, a younger gamer, this probably doesn't look like a big deal to you. But if you're an OG, you know, an original guard, you know, one of the guys that, you know, grew up playing 16 8-bit games or less, like, if you would have played this on your Super Nintendo, you would have been blown away, because it's definitely, you know, pushing the system to just a crazy limit. The fact that, you know, this is all on the original Super Nintendo, you know, no CD add-on, nothing else, definitely super impressive. So here we have the little sub-boss area, and you can just see, like, look at some of these polygons. Like, look at that, the top polygon there. Like, that's super detailed and super clean. Like, this looks like a high-end, like, Jaguar game or something. You know, this definitely doesn't look like a Super Nintendo game. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing this game. I'm really looking forward to exploring it more, seeing all the different planets and stuff, and just having a good time with it because it's a really solid game. So let's get into my final thoughts on the platform, what I think about the SNES Classic, and is it worth it?
So what do I think about the SNES Classic Edition? I mean, I love it. You guys know I was going to love it. It's got a great selection of games, and they all look really good. Star Fox 2 may not be the greatest game in the world, but it is fun to mess around with. I'm definitely looking forward to exploring some of the RPGs on the system, like Final Fantasy III, and of course Super Mario RPG. I will be skipping Earthbound for personal reasons. But yeah, I'm definitely stoked on the system. I can't wait to play it more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this preview look of the system and the menus and how everything looks and runs. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below if you plan on picking one up. This definitely made it very easy for me to get one. So special thank you to Nintendo for sending it to Nintendo Enthusiast. Like I said, I have an unboxing video over on Nintendo Enthusiast YouTube channel, so make sure you guys check that out. Link in the description. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.
RGT, NA5, RGT, NA5. RGT, NA5.